Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Requesting you all to kindly take your seats. We will be starting momentarily. Good afternoon and namaste, ladies and gentlemen. It is our distinct honor and highest privilege to have with us today the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Mr. N.V. Ramana, here with us in India Social and Cultural Center today. India Social and Cultural Center, ISC, was founded in 1967 and is a premier socio-cultural organization for expat Indians in Abu Dhabi. ISC is also the proud recipient of the Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Award from the Government of India. Located in Abu Dhabi, the land of emerging opportunities, ISC has grown strength to strength and has become a home away from home for Indians in Abu Dhabi. It serves as a venue for members and their families for a wide range of social, cultural, literary, educational, and serves as a recreational facility for all. With this, may I now welcome everybody, and in specific, the Honorary Chief Justice of India, Mr. N.V. Ramana, and Ms. Shivamala onto the stage, accompanied by Mr. Yogesh Prabhu, the President of ISC. May I please request you to come onto the stage. Also requesting the judge, Ms. Hima Kohl, to be accompanied by the Honorary General Secretary, Mr. Jojo Ambukan, onto the stage, please. Requesting the Honorable Ambassador, Mr. Sanjay Sudhir, to be accompanied by the Honorable Vice President of ISC, Mr. George Varghese. We will now be felicitating our guests today. And for that, may I request the bouquet to be presented to the Chief Justice by the Honorary President, Mr. Yogesh Prabhu. And a bouquet to be presented to the judge by Honorary Treasurer, Mr. Shijil Kumar. And a bouquet to the Honorable Ambassador by the Honorary President of ISC, Mr. Yogesh Prabhu. Thank you very much. Requesting all to please take your seats. We will now be having the welcome speech to address the gathering presented by the Honorary President of ISC, Mr. Yogesh Prabhu. Requesting everyone to please welcome Mr. Yogesh Prabhu.
Thank you, Agrata. Our chief guest, Honorable Chief Justice of India, Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana and Mrs. N. Shivamala, Honorable Miss Justice Hima Kohl, His Excellency, our Ambassador, Mr. Sanjay Sudhir, and officials of the embassy, general governors and fellow members of ISC, officials of other organizations, distinguished guests, ladies, gentlemen, good afternoon, namaste. I am honored and privileged to welcome Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana, Chief Justice of India and his family, and Honorable Miss Justice Hima Kohl, Judge of the Supreme Court of India. I appreciate all of you who came here accepting our invitation, that too in such a short notice. For the effort of you made to join us today to meet our Chief Justice, I offer most grateful welcome to all of you. Sir, we are fortunate that you have taken time from your busy schedule to meet and interact with Indian diaspora here in Abu Dhabi at our center. On this occasion, I would like to brief you about our center. India Social and Cultural Center, in short ISC, is established in 1967, is a premier Indian organization in Abu Dhabi. This center has been built on the land graciously donated by the benevolent rulers of Abu Dhabi and funded by the members and well-wishers. Though ISC is started with very few people, it has grown strength to strength, and today it has become one of the biggest non-resident Indian community center outside India. It is serving as a venue for members and their families for a wide range of social, cultural, literary, educational, philanthropic, and recreational activities. Today, our center stands out as a model and pride movement of Indian diaspora living in UAE. Recognizing the social service rendered by ISC, in the year 2017, ISC has been honored with Pravasi Bharatiya Sammana Award by Government of India. Our center is managed by the committee elected by members annually. Padma Shri awardee Dr. Yusuf Ali MA is the chairman of the Board of Governors. Today, he could not attend the meeting as he is out of Abu Dhabi, whereas he has sent his best regards. During this COVID-19 pandemic situation, we have done a lot of relief work with the help of our members and well-wishers. In these relief activities, we are closely coordinating with Embassy of India, other associations, and local authorities in Abu Dhabi. Recognizing the social service of ISC during the pandemic in 2021, we received the Mahatma Award 2020 for COVID-19 humanitarian effort in an in-person event held in New Delhi. The Mahatma Award is founded by Amit Sachdeva, more famously known as the CSR Man of India, and is supported by the Aditya Birla Group. Also, recently we are awarded with the Certificate of Excellence by Abu Dhabi Police for the service rendered to the community during the period of pandemic. Sir, this is a short note about our center. We, the community members of Indian diaspora, are thrilled by your visit and grateful for the opportunity given to us to meet and interact with you. Without delaying further, I conclude herewith welcoming all of you once again to this august gathering. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yogesh Prabhu. We will now be having another speech addressing the gathering today by His Excellency Mr. Sanjay Sudhir, the Ambassador of India to UAE. Requesting you all to please welcome Mr. Sanjay Sudhir.
Honorable Chief Justice of India, Shri N.V. Ramana, Honorable Justice Ms. Hima Kohl, President of ISC, Mr. Yogesh Prabhu, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a very, very memorable day for us that we have the Chief Justice of India who's on an official visit to this country. In fact, he's the first Chief Justice of India making an official visit to the UAE. So in that sense, you're actually witnessing history being made. Just about an hour back, we had a meeting with the Justice Minister, and we had very substantive talks, and a lot of the discussion was about welfare measures for the Indian community. And I'm so grateful to the Honorable Chief Justice that he took up those matters and gave us really some kind of big head start to start pursuing all these issues which we have been taking up on behalf of the Indian community here, to take up with the UAE government with renewed vigor. So I really thank him for that. I must also say that the Indian Social and Cultural Center here is not only a home away from home, as the MC just mentioned in her opening remarks, but I think this is a building which has been built brick by brick by the contribution of the Indians here. Grateful, of course, to the rulers to give us the land, but then you have not only built this, you are also managing it, and you are making so many Indians really regard this place as their home. I also appreciate the enormous work carried out by the center during COVID, very, very difficult COVID times. In fact, that was a time we don't want it to come back ever again. But I think that was a situation which at the embassy we could have never managed by ourselves unless we had the support of the Indian community here, the Indian associations here, the Indian Social and Cultural Center here. One thing which also needs to be mentioned here is that today we have a very comprehensive relationship. In 2017, during the visit of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, we signed the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership Agreement. And following that, you would have all witnessed from very close quarters how the relationship has been growing. Just a few weeks back, we had a virtual summit between Prime Minister Modi and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, in which we signed the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, a big milestone, a big paradigm shift in our economic engagement. We also, you would have seen that the two leaders also released some kind of a vision document. If you have not seen it, please, it's in public domain, please have a look at that, because this is such a significant document. It's some kind of a roadmap of how our leaders envision our relationship to grow in the decades to come. And it's also clear instructions for the bureaucracies, for the governments on both sides on the areas to focus on. And again, these areas need a lot of participation from our Indian community here. A few weeks back, again, we had the Speaker of Lok Sabha, Shri Om Birla, visiting here. Again, a first of its kind, because we had the first visit of a serving speaker to this country in an official capacity. So we have our parliaments engaged, and today we have our judiciaries engaged. So you are seeing that how comprehensively the countries are working together with each other. But today, when we call this engagement as comprehensive, we also know, all of us know, that the basic edifice of our relationship is our Indian community here. The largest Indian community, Indian nationals anywhere in the world. And I think this government, this country, as well as India, I think owes you all a debt of gratitude. And I recall that the Justice Minister, Honorable Justice Minister, was remarking to our Chief Justice that the Indian community, while being the largest, is such a peace-loving community. And they never create any trouble. So we could see that sense of satisfaction, that happiness on his face, and thank you all for that. So thank you very much for inviting Honorable Chief Justice of India and Honorable Justice Hima Kohl here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanjay Sudhir. It was indeed a very informative session, I would say, where we really got to understand more about the milestones that have been created here today and addressed to us here today. So that was really nice. Now, moving on, we will be, of course, having the speech the address by the Chief Justice, the Honorable Chief Justice. But before that, may I just give a short introduction to the Honorable Chief Justice. So the Justice Nutalapati Venkata Ramana. Sure. All right, so before that, may I please request the judge, Ms. Hima Kohl, to address the gathering. So welcoming Ms. Hima Kohl to the podium. Thank you very much. Hi, ma'am.
A very warm good afternoon. This is a surprise. I wasn't expecting to speak, and they do say when the head of the institution is here, whatever he says goes for all of us, and that's how we work in the judiciary. Thank you for inviting us here. It's indeed a pleasure to see such a vibrant Indian community in Abu Dhabi, and visiting this center has taken me back a decade. A decade ago, I had visited Auckland for a conference. And the Indian embassy is in Wellington, as we all know. They don't have a presence in Auckland, but a very vibrant Indian community like the one here that had an India house. And it was fortuitous that I went there on the eve of 15th of August, and we were requested to hoist the flag and participate in the celebrations of on that day. And just like this, it was a festive occasion. All the lights and the balloons and the families coming in big numbers and the meals being brought by families to the center takes me back to those days, and how we enjoyed the Indian food in that foreign environment was entirely different. So I'm so glad that you have hosted us today. It is our privilege to come here and be with you. We heard very good things about the Indian community from His Excellency the Minister, and the Ambassador has endorsed it in so many words that all of you have made such a special place for yourselves in this country, and you're appreciated for the kind of work you've been doing. That goes to say much about the Indian community, that there's a vibrant relationship of the persons in power with the Indian community, for which the Indian embassy acts as a bridge, goes to show that you're actually showcasing the culture of India far away from the shores of the country, preserving it and taking it further. I must acknowledge that it's very good to see a good number of ladies amongst the audience. And obviously, they're also contributing their might to making the families and themselves evolve in this culture, preserve it, and at the same time, accept the culture of the country where they're working and coordinate with each other to build the relationship. So really, in every way, each one of you is an ambassador of the country when you step out of the country. So good to see you in large numbers. Thank you for inviting us. On the eve of Holi, today is Choti Holi, as we all know, so we are seeing all this color. I think it's contributing to that. A happy Holi to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. I think it was really nice of you to share your experience of Independence Day, and we hope that you're able to also come with us during our Independence Day celebrations, which will be happening on the 15th of August. We really hope so. Thank you very much, ma'am. All right, so now I will be, it's my honor, and it's all of our honor to have onto the podium shortly the Justice, Mr. Nutalapati Venkata Ramana, and he is serving as the 48th Chief Justice of India from the 24th of April 2021. Justice N.V. Ramana is a first-generation lawyer and hails from the village of Ponnavaram, located in Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh. He is an avid reader and a literature enthusiast. He is passionate about his mother tongue, Telugu, which was a medium of his education. He is also a music enthusiast. From his early days, he is known for his activist outlook and welfareism. While being a student leader, he involved himself in issues concerning the welfare of farmers, industrial workers, and so on. Due to his activism, he lost an academic year during the emergency. Before entering into full-time legal practice, he dabbed briefly in journalism as well. He was called onto the bar on 10th Feb 1983. He practiced in the High Court of Andhra Pradesh, Central and Andhra Pradesh Administrative Tribunals, and the Supreme Court of India. He specialized in constitutional, civil, labor, service, and election matters. He has also practiced before interstate river tribunals. During his practicing years, he was a panel counsel for various governmental organizations and was an additional standing counsel for railways in the Administrative Tribunal at Hyderabad. He went on to become an additional Advocate General of Andhra Pradesh. He was first appointed as the permanent judge of Andhra Pradesh High Court in June of 2000. He also functioned as acting Chief Justice of his parent High Court from the 10th of March 2013 to the 20th of May 2013. Thereafter, he moved to Delhi as the Chief Justice of High Court in September 2013, before being elevated to the Supreme Court of India as a judge in February of 2014. As the Chief Justice of India, he would have a tenure of 16 months. Justice Ramana has been a strong votary of decentralization of justice delivery mechanisms so as to make it easily accessible to the poorest of poor. While acting as an executive chairman of NALSA, he undertook various programs to develop a strong legal aid culture in India. Under his guidance, NALSA performed even during the pandemic beyond its scope to provide meaningful access to justice. He is responsible for making India's legal aid program the largest in the entire world, wherein legal aid is not only provided on a basis of means test, rather than a basis of fixed categories. Out of 1.2 billion people in India, over 70% are now eligible for free legal aid. And this is remarkable. His other objective is to improve the judicial infrastructure in the entire country, since it is his firm belief that unless the infrastructure is in place, it is impossible to deal with the humongous pendency the Indian judicial system is confronted with. To achieve this objective, he has proposed setting up a special purpose vehicle styled as a National Judicial Infrastructure Corporation, which will be the nodal agency for developing infrastructure such as court buildings, residential complexes, and so on. A man of simplicity and gentleness, Justice Ramana's judgments are known for clear dictum, balanced approach, and are easy to understand. During his tenure as judge, he was part of numerous path-breaking and progressive decisions. During his tenure as judge, Justice Ramana has been proactively shaping the jurisprudence. Justice Ramana's multifaceted journey can be seen through the gamut of judgments that he has penned. Justice Ramana has authored over 156 judgments ranging over a wide gamut of issues during his tenure in the Supreme Court so far. Through his judgments, Justice Ramana comes across as a pure constitutionalist, an upholder and protector of fundamental rights, a strong advocate of transparency, gender equality, cooperative federalism, democratic rights, and above all, a humanist. Upholding the supremacy of the representative character of legislature has been his guiding principle in resolving political logjams in state legislature. It is with our distinct honor that we welcome onto the podium today Mr. Chief Justice of India, Mr. N.V. Ramana.
My sister, Justice Hema Kohl, Judge Supreme Court of India, Ambassador of India, Mr. Sanjeev Sudhir, Mr. Sandeep, Deputy Chief of Mission, Mr. Dhruv Mishra, Honorary President of this Center, Mr. Yogesh Prabhu, Honorary General Secretary, Sri J. Abuken, other office bearers and members of the Center, office bearers and members of various other organizations, my dear fellow Indians and persons of Indian origin, Namaskar, Adab, good afternoon. I am very glad to participate in this meeting. In fact, I think yesterday evening sometime, I think we confirmed this program within the short span. You are organizing this function. I really appreciate your commitment to the fellow Indians coming from India and visiting this place, and you want to interact with them is a great thing. More than anything, today I am very happy because just now we are coming after meeting with the Honorable Minister for Law of this nation and the Supreme Court Chief Justice and other dignitaries. Your Ambassador of Mr. Sanjay has briefed during the call on certain issues. And in fact, we have a different agenda. We thought of discussing some very other issues relating to international arbitration, economic issues, and cooperation between the two countries about judicial developments and all that. But during the briefing in the car, 5 minutes, the ambassador has brought 4 or 5 important issues which are concerned about the Indians staying in this place. I will discuss it later on. But I'm happy. The reason is that both His Excellency, the Law Minister, as well the Chief Justice of India and other dignitaries, in one voice, praising the Indians. They say that they are very honest, sincere, hardworking. They do their business and they are a wonderful people. This has given me a lot of satisfaction. I am proud of you. I am really proud of you. The entire Indians are proud of you. You came here working hard and getting a very good name for the country as well as you. I congratulate all of you. I wish you, all of you. Coming back to the center, Indian Culture and Social Center, which was established in the year 1967, such a huge office and infrastructure. It's a wonderful thing. It shows your commitment. It shows your interest in protecting your identity and taking care of the Indians from different parts of the country where they came here and working here. And you did an amazing work during this COVID time, not only COVID time, apart from other, whenever there is crisis, whenever there is issues, you are providing help, taking care of the fellow Indians and providing them some entertainment and cultural activities and other things. It's a good thing, and I appreciate and I thank the organizing committee and its founder members and all of you for taking interest on this issue. And I am also congratulating that You have got the awards of Mahatma Award 2020 for COVID-19 humanitarian effort, and also Prabhasa Bharati Sanman. These are all very prestigious awards, and it shows the honest and hard work you did, the recognition which they have given it. You all know that both India and United Arab Emirates shares very good bondage, strong friendship and relationship, not only now, historically, not only trade, employment, and exchange of other issues. Recently, the two nations have signed a comprehensive economic partnership agreement, taking care into the consideration of the future growth and development of these countries. As said by the ambassador, that you are all to look into those documents and agreements, so you will understand how the countries are progressing and how they are planning for the future. And in addition to that, judicial side, there is some agreements that India and United Arab Emirates have entered bilateral agreements which help both the nations enhance cooperation of various fields. This is regarding to the extradition, execution of decrees, mutual legal assistance in criminal cases, etc., etc. This is where today we have discussed with the Law Minister some of the issues which are bothering the government, particularly the ambassador and the consulate general. This is around 175 people whose extradition orders are pending. And when the ambassador, Mr. Sudhi, has brought to the notice, then we represented and we mentioned to the law ministry. He agreed immediately to look into this issue and try to expedite these extradition orders. Apart from that, there are 105 transfer of sentenced prisoners also. This issue also, they said that they will try to solve it immediately. And one more request also we made about this counselors' access to visit Indians in prison. These are the three important humanitarian issues which we had to take care. In addition to that, the implementation of the awards, which was passed by the courts when particularly the workforce was removed from service or employment or something. Even though the judgments are there, they are not implementing and the benefit is not getting to the people. So that also they said that if the numbers are given, every 6 months they review and they will try to implement as early as possible. And in family courts, we have seen certain legislations were made by the government of United Arab Emirates that is relating to protect the traditional rights and laws of the Indians who came from different parts of non-Muslims, to follow their laws. They have agreed for that, and it seems they have created some courts. So that issue we have taken up. They said that already the legislation is made, they are going to implement it and they are working. But some practical difficulties are taking place. That is, the interpreters are not properly, there is not sufficient number of interpreters in the courts. So they are facing some problem. That issue also they promised that they will take care of that issue. So people who cannot understand the Arabic or other languages, English and etc., they can take the help of the interpreters. And second thing, the third language, Hindi, was introduced in courts. It takes care of some of the problems which these people are facing. These are the issues which we have discussed, and I hope my request with the government, the minister has promised there is a possibility of solving these issues, and I appreciate the ambassador taking up those issues and briefing us, and his hard work and sincerity. I appreciate you. One of the major reasons for the strong ties between the two nations is that the Indians constitute one of the largest ethnic group in the UAE. Nearly 3.5 million Indian expats living here, comprising around 30% of the total population. Indians have significantly contributed to the development of the UAE over the years. Many Indians traveled to this place since 1970 for such of economic opportunities. The nature of work and workers migrating to UAE has changed since then with the growth of the service sector in the UAE. Now, the Indian population has been completely integrated into the fabric of this society. However, one of the most significant thing about the Indian diaspora in UAE, it is contributions back to India. All of you have significantly contributed to Indian development as well. Whenever there has been a calamity or requirement for Indians in the UAE to step up and contribute towards the Indian cause, they have always delivered. I remember a few years back when the state of Kerala faced devastating floods, it was our Gulf brothers and sisters who were the first to send immediate relief in crores to help those in need. This shows me deep love and fraternity held by you, all of you, for India. It reminds me of the famous lines in the old Bollywood song in the movie Sri 420. I quote, "Mera juta hai Japani, पतलूं इंग्लिस्तानी, सिर पे लाल टोपी रूसी, फिर भी दिल में है हिंदुस्तानी." Whenever your Indian values of care, respect, fraternity, and tolerance must shine through. It is not the soil where you reside or toil that dictates you who you are, but the values you carry within you. India resides in all of you, and I hope wherever you live for work, you will always think about India and keep her flag shining high. Wherever I go, always my advice and request to all the expats is not to forget your motherland and mother tongue. Don't detach from your roots. Sustain and promote your culture. Celebrate festivals. Organize and join cultural events. It is through these concerted efforts only you can maintain brotherhood between the communities and sustain much needed solidarity. When I say that you are the real ambassadors of India, I hope Mr. Sudhir will also agree with me. Each one of you represent what India is known for and what India stands for. It is your relationship with the people of UAE in your day-to-day life and defines the relationship between the two countries. Be good, do good, be honest. You will certainly be rewarded. I am sure all of you are doing your bit to help your families and friends back home and of course your country or region. As the Chief Justice of India, I cannot make any promise to you, but I can suggest to organizations such as the Indian Cultural and Social Center to think about creating a legal assistance center to help those in need of legal assistance in India. Both the National and State Legal Service Authority are able to take care of legal service needs of 70% of needy population, totally free of cost. I can assure that Indian Legal Services Authority will extend all possible help in dealing with legal problems of the needy in India. Your Legal Assistance Center can be modal point for coordination between the needy Indian Legal Services Authority. Having observed the growing strong relationship between the countries, I am confident that This relationship will only grow in the times to come. The strong bonds of friendship between the two nations are bound to flourish and achieve new heights. I thank the organizers from the bottom of my heart organizing this event. My gratitude to all those who turned up on a working day to shower us with your love and affection. Jai Hind, thank you.
May I add, thank you very much, Mr. Chief Justice, for giving us that introduction into all of the events that are going on and about to happen in the future as well. May I also add that as a lawyer myself, it is incredible to be able to hear from you all of the achievements that we have had so far and also the achievements that we're looking forward to as a basis for the future, and especially on various grounds such as legal aid, which is honestly one life-changing thing for a person in need of legal help and assistance. All right, with that, thank you very much. With that, we will be moving on, and may I invite the Managing Committee of ISC onto the stage for the Felicitation program. So inviting all of the ISC Managing Committee members onto the stage, please. Thank you very much. All right, for the felicitation of the Chief Justice, Mr. Ramana, may I ask for the shawl to be presented by the President of ISC and the memento by the Ambassador, Mr. Sudhir, please. For the Chief Justice of India. And the memento by the Ambassador, Honorary Ambassador. Thank you very much. And for the felicitation of the judge, Madam Hima Kohl, may I please ask the Honorary General Secretary, Mr. Jojo Ambukin, to present the shawl. And the memento to be presented by the Vice President of ISC, Mr. George Varghese. May I also request the felicitation of Madam Shivamala to be done by our Treasurer of ISC, Mr. Shijil, please. Yes, of course. Group photo would be good as well. May we also invite Mr. Nandakumar and Mr. Ajit John from the Lulu Group onto the stage, please? Requesting all to exit through the right-hand side of the stage, please. For those who are done with the felicitation. We now have the Telugu community who would like to felicitate the judge. The Karnataka community who would like to felicitate our guests for today. Thank you. Now we have the Maharashtra Mandal to felicitate our guests. We then have the Odia community. We then have the representatives from the Gandhi Sahitya Vedi. We now have the representatives from the Telugu community onto the stage here. We have a special felicitation from the Telugu community for the work that Madam Hima Kohl has done in serving the community. Come on, please, a round of applause. All right, if we can have everybody for the photo session, please. Thank you very much. We request all to exit towards the right-hand side of the stage. That's it. Thank you. And could we also request Mr. Suraj from Al Ahalya Group to join us onto the stage, please? We have our former president of ISC, Mr. Natarajan, felicitating our guest for today. Requesting the managing committee of ISC to please come onto the stage. The staff of ISC to be present onto the stage, please. Thank you very much. We now have the staff of ISC to felicitate, and this will be done by the General Manager of ISC, Mr. Raju. Requesting also the representatives from IPEF and the Toastmaster clubs of ISC to be present onto the stage, please. Yes. All right, this will be the last, please. These are the special clubs and programs hosted in ISC and a part of the ISC Social Center. I'm also joining for this. Thank you all very much. Keeping in mind the time, we will now be moving on to the vote of thanks, which will be presented by the Honorary General Secretary of IC, Mr. Jojo Ambukan.
Good afternoon, everybody. Since we are running out of time, I'm not prolonging with more details. As General Secretary of ISC, on behalf of our Honorary President, Mr. Yogesh Prabhu, and my fellow committee members, we express our sincere gratitude to Hon'ble Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana, Chief Justice of India, for accepting our invitation and finding time during his busy schedule to visit ISC and to attend this function and address the gathering. Also, we thank Mrs. N. Shivamala, wife of Honorable Justice, for her visit to ISC to spend time with us. It is our great pleasure to thank Honorable Ms. Justice Humayoon, Judge of Supreme Court of India, for attending this function during their busy schedule in UAE. We all know that how busy the embassy officials are these days with current scenarios around the globe. We are happy and thankful for the presence of His Excellency, Mr. Sanjay Sudhir, the Ambassador of India to UAE, for attending this function. We also thank the rulers of country. We express our gratitude to the Ministry of Community Development and Department of Community Development for encouraging us to live normal after this pandemic. We thank all the members and their family, general governors, water governors, and president and secretaries of various associations, registered and non-registered associations, for attending this function on this working day and making this event as a memorable event for ISC. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you all very much for joining us this afternoon, and I'm sure it would have been a very informative session for us all. Once again, thank you, and good afternoon then.
तुम चले